Welcome to Gym Owner Freedom. I am Scott Carpenter, and I am a former broke, struggling, frustrated, and overworked gym owner that felt stuck no matter what I did to try and improve the business. Once I realized that the answer wasn't what I thought it was, just getting more clients, and after really doing the math on acquisition and churn rates, I realized I wasn't even playing a winnable game to begin with. With my current price structure, mathematically, there was no way I could afford to pay my staff so I could scale up and out of the business, that I can have the time, the money, the impact, and the freedom that I always knew I was capable of. Once I learned how to add value by selling transformational programs to people who needed more than just workouts, everything changed in my life. Today, I own 6 gyms that all run without me, and I am free to pursue my passion projects and work just because I love to, not because I have to. And if that's a goal that we mutually share together, then this is the show for you. I'm going to teach you the framework to make way more money with less clients and open up a world of possibilities to you. Subscribe, leave a review, and tune in every week. It'll change your life. I promise you that. We're going to talk about a hot topic that is, man, we got a lot of people asking us about this, and we're seeing a lot of people struggle out there in the marketplace. But we're going to talk about what to do when paid ads deliver shitty leads, which is something that so many of us are experiencing. It's not even funny. Can you guys see the screen?
Good.
Got the screen? Cool. So yeah, we're going to talk about what to do when paid ads deliver shitty leads. Dave, you and I have been getting this at some of our locations for an extended period of time, right?
Last 8 months. This is I think this is the number one bottleneck. Every single conversation that I have across the board with anyone running paid ads.
Oh, absolutely. With all the gym owners we speak to, the leads is always at the forefront. And as you guys know, we own gyms, so we experience this too. And the good news is we've been very, very, very proactive about solving this problem, because it is a beast out there. And it's one of the number one things holding us back. And feel free, whether you're on Facebook Live or whether you're watching us in our direct Zoom room, feel free to put in any comments in the chat box. And we have some giveaways as well at the end of here. If you cannot stay on by the end of it, just type, shoot, what do we need to have them type, Dave? Leads. Just comment leads in Zoom or on Facebook, or if you're watching the recording, and we'll send out the stuff. If you can't make it to the end, or if you're watching this on a replay, we'll find you, we'll hit you up. But yeah, okay, so here is why we're experiencing some problems. Ignore my sniffing, guys. I got a bit of some kind of cold flu from my little kids, the gremlins. So I may be sniffing or coughing throughout this. But yeah, a lot of us are experiencing a bit of a gym session. I wouldn't say 100% of us, and that's a good thing. Markets are definitely different. But across the board, what percentage, Dave, of gym owners do you feel that are struggling more now than they were 3, 6, 9, 12 months ago?
What percent?
Yeah.
98?
Yeah, I would say that's about right. Now, some of you are in markets who are like, what are you talking about? Thumbs up. Freaking good for you. That's really good. No complaints there. But for a lot of us, we're finding out that things aren't quite as easy as they used to be. And ads that, the direct call to action ads just aren't working as well. Okay. Well, there's several reasons why we're kind of experiencing some issues right now. Ozempic and GLP-1 drugs. Okay. We had a doctor on a couple weeks ago talking about this, but it is estimated right now that 1 out of 8 American adults are on Ozempic or GLP-1 drug. Okay. That's competition for us, like it or not. And there's ways we can embrace that in our marketing and our ads and have an Ozempic support program. We're going to start to advertise this as well, which is fantastic. But this is decreasing the demand for our services. Make no mistake. Americans, and anybody in developed nations, they want the quick, easy fix. Give me the pill, and I don't want to do the work, right? Number 2 is inflation, right? I think we can all feel this one no matter where we're at. The disposable income has drastically decreased between housing. I don't care if you have a mortgage or rent, your utilities, groceries, everything across the board has been shrinking disposable income. And what we do is considered a want, not a need. So we are going to lose out before somebody's utility bill, before their electric bill gets paid. Okay. So it decreases affordability. This hits the lower end of the market harder. So if you're a large group, chances are you felt this a little bit more than somebody running like a semi-private and overlapping personal training or a personal training gym. People who pay more and are happy to pay more, generally they can weather these storms. They have higher income. It's the lower paying people, when they hit a snag in their budget, they're gone. So this is disproportionately affecting large group, but we are all feeling it. Okay. Cost of acquisition. There have been algorithm changes with Facebook and Meta. No doubt. Some of you had just saw it happen nearly overnight. And all of a sudden my paid ads aren't working as well. No show rates are going crazy, or the people it's bringing in have been just horrible, like really bad fit. There have been algorithm changes. Nobody really knows what goes on the back end, but things are going on the back end. Okay. And then churn. For whatever reason, since the pandemic, the churn is higher and it's increasing. It's likely due to the fact that there's Ozempic and GLP-1. It's likely due that people are taking long overdue vacations from when they didn't during COVID. It's likely due to the fact that inflation makes their budgets harder, right? So it's all of these issues that cause the churn to be a little bit higher. But when it's harder to get people in the doors and more expensive and they stay less, well, that just destroys return on ad spend and makes people really struggle with leads. So the bottom line is if you've ran ads in the past and it just didn't work out and you had to shut them off, that's the only reason to shut them off, is if they're not working well for you. Or if you're running them, but you're like, shit, I don't think the math is mathing on this stuff. Guys, it's okay. It's nothing you're doing wrong. It's just things have changed on you and you have to change with it. Or you just have to say, hey, I'm giving up on paid ads, which is probably not the best strategy if you still need to grow. But bottom line is, it's okay if you're struggling. I have too. We have in our gyms, and this is why we are changing things. This is why it's so difficult too, because if you're like Dave and I and Josh, like, you've hired marketing companies to try and run paid ads for you, right? And the issue is most of them are just one-trick ponies, okay? They're just one-trick ponies. They can run this direct call to action ad, right? That will be set up with automations. They'll get emails and texts to try and get them to book. You're supposed to call them as well. Maybe a company calls them for you, a VA. But that's it. It's just like, hey, buy my shit. Hey, buy my shit. Hey, buy my shit. That's pretty much what we're doing. Hey, 6-week challenge. Hey, free session, right? That's really all we do. But unfortunately, that's not working very well. And we have to move beyond that. We can't just be a one-trick pony, because what you do is you bounce to the next marketer because they show you all this social proof and they promise the world. And then it's like, cool, I get the same thing. You know what happens to us a lot is we start with a marketer and they get us results for 2 months and then it just drops off the face of the earth. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But the problem is just you can have somebody run your ads, but you still need to be the CMO. You still need to, you cannot abdicate all of your marketing responsibilities to somebody else. And if it's working for you right now, that's great. But pay attention, because that might fall off a cliff. Okay. In some markets, you don't have a problem, and that's awesome. I think that's phenomenal. Just be on the lookout for it. And I would start to do all these other things we're going to teach you today preemptively, because it may happen to you. And if you rely on one source of leads, you are very much at risk. It can shut down your business overnight with an algorithm change. It really can. So anyways, I want you to be more than a one-trick pony. I don't want you to rely on one source of lead flow, because that is dangerous if it stops working. Okay. Side note that I thought this was pretty funny, because I was looking up My Little Pony graphics and this weird thing popped up. Do you know what a brony is? It's like a grown man who loves My Little Pony. I found that out. But I don't know. This just led down a rabbit hole, guys. And this is the discussion of people on the internet. Okay. Somebody posts human attraction, romantic and sexual toward ponies, and why it happens and why it is okay. This is the fucking world we're living in, guys. Okay. This is what people spend time on instead of working out and eating right. Like, it's so fucked up. I can't even tell you. The world is insane out there. It's fucking insane. And unfortunately, this is why ads don't work, is because people are looking up how to have sex with cartoon ponies. It's just wild. I don't know if this creeps you out, creeps me out. But the bottom line is, it's a weird world out there. We have to keep Ryan. It's okay if you love ponies. I know you love me anyways. If I, yeah. But anyways, let's not get too off topic. Here's the whole thing. Things are tighter in our industry right now. They are. But never let a good crisis go to waste. Quote from Winston Churchill. Okay. Never let a good crisis go to waste. I can give you an example of this. So I started in the personal training. I quit the corporate world in 2008, late 2008, and started over as a trainer. Okay. If you remember, late 2008 was the start of the Great Recession. This was the biggest economic setback since the Great Depression, right? And I got into personal training then, and it hit hard. Like, I was working at Lifetime Fitness at the time, and it just boom, the monthly revenue just dropped like a rock. But I was getting into it for the first time. I'm like, let me just do what I need to do. And I was able to get ahead. And I was able to really see a lot of success because I truly wanted to be there. I just ignored the recession and just did what I needed to do. Saw some great success, got promoted a year later, run the department again. So I had 20 something trainers on staff. And then I started my own studio. And when I didn't start it, I bought a failing studio. But this recession, if you remember, it really kicked full swing in 2009, but it lasted for like 3-4 years. And there were all these vacancies in Arizona with real estate. And so I was able to acquire competitors going out of business for really cheap and go to multiple locations. I was able to qualify for leases with landlords who I didn't have the money or the capacity. I don't know why they did it. The fact that everything was vacant, they had to take a shot on me. And so I was able to grow while there's a big recession going on. So that's what I want to get at, is never let a good crisis go to waste. Like Warren Buffett says, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Right now, there are other gym owners that are fearful because of what's going on in the marketplace. This is your time to ignore that and focus on what you can do. This is your time to get ahead. And if you're the tip of the spear going through this gym session, you're going to come out the other side really good. And this is a prime opportunity to move forward. So that's just something I wanted to make sure you guys understand as well. And my goal for this training today is I want you to realize that the only way for you to win in this new gym economy is by marketing differently than we have in the past. The playbook that got us through 2016 to 2019 is likely not going to be what gets you to the next level today. Okay. And number two, that the easiest way for you to market differently is by using our 5 Mile Celebrity Playbook. We're going to get into as much of this as possible that we can today. There are three main things I'm going to cover with you. But first, if this is your first time coming out of one of these trainings and you don't know a whole ton about me, so I own multiple locations. Dave, also on here, is a co-owner with PT Legends with me. He owns multiple locations as well. We started 12 years ago when we bought the first failing gym location. I was flat broke. So I had to square up credit card collections. I was driving a $2,300 car, excuse me. It was not pretty. I had to start from way behind because I made mistakes in my early 20s. Okay. Struggled for a long period of time. So Dave, I mean, you were there in the early days. You were the second location I got. You were an independent personal trainer there, right? And you were with me roughing this out. Eventually you became a partner. But man, we started like with the odds stacked against us and from flat broke, but we figured a lot of things out. Right. And we've made a long journey over the past 12 years. And ultimately, right, we were able to hang on, even though we didn't know what we were doing early. We caught some breaks. We really dove in, increased our education, worked and hired with tons of people all over the spectrum, not just in the gym silo, but outside of the gym silo. And we took all these things and improved our businesses over time. And we learned how to make really good, big, sexy profits. And what we've done is taken those profits and turn that into indestructible wealth through smart money management and through investments so that we're able to live the profit lifestyle. So we have freedom with our time and our money, and we can live life in our own terms and do what we love to do rather than work because we have to. So that's our goal for you. That's a little bit about me, a little bit about us. Step one, right? Make big, sexy profits. We're going to talk about that. The first part, do a lead flow. We're going to talk about do a lead flow. There's a lot involved in that. You have to lead with price. You got to build your team so you can automate profits. But what we do, guys, it's show and not tell. So we show you and we open up profit and loss statements. We show you exactly what we're doing to make big, sexy profits. We show exactly what we're doing to build indestructible wealth. We go through what we do with our money, how we do it, where we invest it, and then how that helps us live the lifestyle and how we don't have to worry about money ever again. So that cycle is what we teach in these live trainings every Thursday. And my goal is for you to have this similar journey where you don't have to worry about money ever again. And you get to do cool stuff with your family, live the life that you want. So those 3 steps. But today we're going to focus on dual lead flow. We're going to focus on acquisition because this is what's changing very rapidly. So 3 things we're going to go over today. What to do when paid ads deliver shitty leads. Number 1, the 6 signs you need to change your ad strategy. Number 2, what to do with your paid ad strategy. And number 3, what to do with your organic ad strategy. If we have time, I'm going to get to another secret to winning the acquisition game that's paramount. It's adjacent to this, but it's really important. So if we can get that done, we'll cover that today. So the 6 signs you need to change your ad strategy. You run direct call to action only. Okay. If you're just running, hey, here's my challenge, whether it's 6 week, whether it's this, whether it's that, a 4 week, it's a 7-day for $7. It's a free this, is whatever. If you're just running direct call to action only, chances are this will work for a while. And before it worked for years and then stops. Now it's, you can switch a company, they'll do stuff. It works for like 2 months and then it just stops. So if that's you or the effectiveness is going down, that's a sign you need to change your ad strategy. Number 2, no-show rates are climbing. This has been what's horrible. Dave, like, what do you see a lot with the people we work with?
I mean, it really is 80%. I was on a great onboarding call today with Mitul and his gang. And what's insane is they're doing all the right things. Like, they have an ad, it comes in, but they have the automations set up. And so we went over a little tactics today where we talked about, okay, a person likes a fun microwave video, right? Like, so now they're going to create this new fun, microwave video to send to all prospects. We went over our discovery call, introducing that to qualify. But I'm like, brother, even if you implement what I'm telling you to do, it's exactly what we're doing. You have to manage your expectations. You're still going to have a very high percentage of people that no-show you. So the bottom line is you can do all the right things and still have a very high no-show percentage. So there's little things that you can do to decrease that, but it's just, I like to say you have to manage your expectations in 2024. If you're going to play the call to action only, you have to know that best case scenario, like it's going to be 30, maybe 40% of people show. And that's best case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty, it can be pretty bad. I mean, I see it north of 70 and 80% no show rates, which is just disheartening because they're looking up My Little Ponies, right? Dennis asks if he can take questions or wait to the end. So you can ask questions anytime in the comments, throw them in the comments. And then Josh or Craig, if people are watching on Facebook, which I can't see, but I can see the Zoom one, just type them in there for me, right? Or interrupt me. If it's relevant, we'll get to it right then. If it's not, we'll kind of hit it up a little bit later, Dennis. But feel free to throw them in the chat, regardless of whether you're on Zoom or you're in on Facebook. But yeah, so no-show rates are climbing for sure. And there are certain things you can do to mitigate that to some extent, and we'll get into that. Lead quality is rapidly declining. So even when they show up, we've been seeing this a lot. Even when they show up, it's like some of these people just don't have a pot to piss in. Like they are literally like, why are you even here? This is a boutique fitness training studio, and like you're on food stamps. I don't even understand why you're here right now. That's happening, right? That's a big algorithm shift, I believe, because we've been seeing that a lot. And another sign, your churn is stalling growth. So yes, acquisition on the front is more challenging. It's more work and it's more expensive because these no-show rates and less qualified people. But a lot of times churn from these Facebook ads is pretty high. They're in and out. Particularly if you're just running a 6-week challenge, some of you are really having a hard time converting these people into actual members afterwards. And so as a result, while your revenue may be increasing some from the paid ads, you're not any more profitable. And this is one thing that we see a lot. Because when you look at it, like, oh man, things are going really well. We went from like 25K to 35K. But then when you look at all the work and the labor and everything, the ad spend and you name it, the costs of running all this stuff, you're like, okay, I'm increasing my revenue by 8 to 10K a month, but like I'm making the same take home. Like, where's the profit? And that's a really good sign that you need to change your ad strategy and also your prices and offers too. The last one is you have little to no leads without paid ads. If you have little to no leads without paid ads, then you're very vulnerable. You're very vulnerable. And I see this sometimes. Paid ads stop working, so then they shut it off. Now they have no ads. They have no leads to work with virtually. Just 3, 4, 5. And that's not a good thing either. So your ad strategy needs to combine paid ads and organic ads. I'll throw in what you said, Dennis. 6-week challenge advertisement ran for 2 weeks on Facebook, as well as a 24-hour 2-day challenge, massive fail. I listed the cost in the ad and the ClickFunnels landing page. Thoughts on listing the price? For me, it is to vet the clients. Yeah, there's so many variables in on that. Some people list how much things are. And again, the thought is like, get the tire kickers away. But then what you also see is sometimes they totally fail. It really depends on it. It really depends on it. And it's that age old, should I qualify more and get fewer leads, or should I play the volume game and qualify less and get in more and have more work to do? There's a lot of nuances right there. It is $600, not high ticket. Yeah, that's not that much. But we'd have to dive in and open up and look at the nitty gritty on that, because there's so many variables ranging from the ad itself to the landing page versus Facebook lead and all those other things. So there's a little bit too much to dive into that, but we might be able to have time for that at the end. So anyways, what to do with your paid ad strategy? So here's what we all do. We throw out 6-week challenge ads. We throw out this free challenge, 24-hour, 2-day, this, that, the other, free week, 7 days for $7. Just direct call to action, direct call to action, direct call to action, direct call to action. Okay. So I was on a call with this one gym owner in Canada, and she had been running 6-week challenge ads since, I want to say 2016, maybe 17. Okay. And she's in a smaller town of about 5,000 people. Okay. 5,000 people. She's been doing this thing for years, and it's just been declining. And the person running her ads suggests you're spending $60 a day, which is a lot. Okay. In a town that size. And they're just, of course, most marketers are like, oh, you need to call your people more often or spend more. That's usually the one trick pony is what they'll tell you, right? But I'm like, well, hang on a second. Town of 5,000, okay, ish. Let's do a little bit of math, all right? And let's go to the demographics. Let's look up and let's factor out anybody too old, right? Let's factor out anybody too young. And let's look at your actual market size. Now, first off, your email list is already like 4,000 or 5,000, like maybe not that high. Maybe it was like 3,000 or something like that. So I'm like, let me get this straight. Factor out too old and too young. There's your viable candidate pool of potential clients. Now let's take out 10%, because 10% are just masturbating to My Little Pony online, right? And they'll never, ever step foot in a gym. Just assume 10% will never step foot in a gym. Okay, great. So what is that actual number of your market? What is that market size? And then I'm like, how much have you been spending and for how many years? And I just did some simple ballpark math, and it's like, holy shit. You're telling me everyone has seen your 6-week challenge ad. Every viable human adult in your town has seen it about 133 times. And you're given the advice to increase ad spend from $60 a day to $100 a day. I said, I think that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life. They're literally seeing, these people are literally seeing the same ads multiple times in a month for years on end. Like, what is ever going to, like, of course, this has been failing for you for a long period of time. Moreover, like, you nearly have on your email list almost every viable adult on them, which you can just send them an email or a text and reach them for free. You understand that, right? I'm like, this is nonsense. I understand that's their play, but Jesus Christ, like, they've seen it 133 times. It's not going to work. You got to hit them up from a different angle, and you shouldn't remotely be spending that amount either. Like, that's foolish at this stage in the game. So, anyways, here's what we're doing that's seeing some great success as we're doing this. So we're running awareness ads, because here's the thing. When you just run direct call to action, direct call to action, direct call to action, they don't know you from the guy down the street. And chances are you're running the same plays as the guy down the street too, right? And they've seen these things. This is why years ago, everyone started asking us if our shit was free. It's like, no, why would you think this is free? This is insane. It's because everyone was running that play, right? And yeah, it'll get leads, but they're not responsive. They know the game. It just doesn't work. So we are running awareness ads to build our pixel, create this audience, right? Because you attach it to a pixel, you run video ads, and then you get to explain a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you're different. Here's the drawback on this. You're probably not going to get that quick hit of leads, right? By doing this. You got to be a little bit patient. It's like people just want the crack. They want the cheap cost per lead. Well, how's that working out for most people? Not that great. You're getting no-showed 80% of the time. That kind of sucks. So awareness ads, this is what we've been doing. We can get 3 to 4 cents for somebody to watch 10 to 15 seconds of our video, which is quite a long time when you're scrolling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're watching that much for 3 cents. That's a lot. I got bored counting to 10, right? That's a good amount. And it's so cheap, 3 to 4 cents. 3 to 4 cents, okay? And you don't have to spend much. We're spending like $10 a day right now, right? And we're building this list and this pixel of people that have seen us. They've seen our faces. They're hearing us talk. They're getting a sense of our culture, who we are. What has been unintended, and this column was way too low, so I didn't include it in here. We're getting like a 1% click-through rate just to our website from this. There's no really call to action. We're not promoting a program or a special offer. We're just talking about who we are. Hey, we've been in this neighborhood for 10 years and blah, 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 right? Talking about what we do, why we're different. We're getting like call to action level click-through rates on this, which is pretty wild. And we're actually signing people up that are referencing the video. It's not even set up for conversions. And the advantage of not doing that way is it's cheap as dirt to do this. It is as cheap as dirt. So we're getting really solid click-through rates, and we're getting people coming in for consultations, just sending them to our webpage, which is phenomenal because they're so much more highly qualified. And that's a really good, this is just stage 1 of what we're doing, because we're creating this audience. Now, stage 2 is we have additional videos that then will do retargeting. We're going to retarget the people that see the awareness ads, and it's going to be our customers talking about their experience. And there's going to be videos. Okay. And then the third thing we're going to do is retarget people that watch those with call to action. So it's like, cool, you know about us, you know where we're at, you know we're around the corner, you know a little bit about what we do. Then you're getting bombarded with people talking about us and what a great experience it's been working at Underground Fitness, at Greenlight Personal Training. And then finally, they're getting hit up with some sort of call to action to try us out. And you're going to get a much warmer audience coming in from that, right? So we shared some scripts. And if you want a script, we can send this to you. just in Zoom or on Facebook, just comment script and we can send this to you. But our awareness ad is basically, hi, I'm Scott Carpenter. I'm co-founder at Underground Fitness Personal Training. We've been in the Valley for 12 years, but you may not know much about us. But I'm glad you're watching this because we are a lot different than anything else out there. The fitness and nutrition industry is chock full of confusing, contradictory information, often taking one scientific principle and blowing it out of proportion. Most preach that working out more is better, but it's not. Better is better. Not many people have the time to work out 4 to 5 times per week and to have sustained willpower to follow restrictive diets forever. And that's the problem. You can get results doing almost anything, but can you keep them? I was guilty for a good portion of this during my career. We helped a lot of people lose weight and we racked up a ton of 5-star reviews, but it was always a struggle for people to keep the weight off and make lifelong habits. And now that I'm in my 40s, I completely get it. Between work, family, kids' activities, and just life, I can't keep up with what I used to do in my 20s. Imagine a fitness plan that only required 90 minutes max each week and was built around a nutrition plan that was fun, flexible, that included your family and friends. Imagine having a coach that built out a simple plan for the hours outside of the gym that followed up with you and held you accountable each and every single week. That's what we built at Underground Fitness. Our program is built on 3 core pillars. Number 1, workouts that are time efficient, safe, and effective. Number 2, nutrition that is family friendly so you can follow it forever. And number 3, accountability. We max our clubs out at 75 clients, and you'll have a coach holding you accountable each and every step of the way. Obviously, you'll need to change this specific for your business, guys, right? The secret, but it goes on. The secret sauce to this program isn't the workout or the nutrition plan alone. The secret to the program is we're going to help connect your fitness goals to your why. So on the days you feel like quitting, you have a reason not to. We work with everyday people just like you. Whether you're brand new or just need a fresh start, you are welcome here. Stop in and see us sometime, or head to our website at any time to schedule a free intro session to see if we'd be a good fit for you. And if you see me out around town, say hi. I'd love to meet you. That's a lie. I hope nobody bothers me if I'm gassing at my car at the grocery store, but I'm trying to be friendly. So this is probably a little long for stage 1. Okay. But in all honesty, it's working like crazy. It's working really well. I recorded a version. Dave recorded a version, right? And it's doing really well. So, I mean, here's an example of the ad. Stage 2. Hey, just quick reminder to everybody, if you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 more this month, every month, by making more money with less clients with transformational programs and create a consistent flow of high quality leads, you can learn more about what it's like to work with me and my team at PT Legends and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. It is such a no-brainer that have more than pays for itself when we teach you how to enroll just two case study clients. Really, that's it. So go to CoachScottCarpenter.com and learn more about it. Stage 2 is where we're doing the video testimonials, like this video over here on the right, okay? And then stage 3 is the direct call to action, right? Is it a Fit Over 40 program? Is it a Ozempic GLP-1 support program? Is it a 6-week challenge? Is it a 63-day transformation? That would be stage 3 with the direct call to action. Does that make sense? A lot of you wrote scripts. Fahad, Rob, Caleb, Diego, Carol, Craig, Sarah, Ryan. We'll get that to you, no problem. In addition, kind of what Dave, you were mentioning is like, can we humanize this experience? Because everybody's got bots and automations, right? Mm-hmm. So rather than like a thank you page or this, can we do something more to show a face that we're a person? People will no-show a person a lot less than they'll no-show a business, right? People want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. They don't want to do business with a big corporation. And you probably aren't one. But at the end of the day, they don't know any difference, right? When you have a relationship and they can see, it's just different, man. They don't want to let you down. They don't want to no-show you. So, I mean, we have follow-up videos, right, that come later in this script. Here's a direct call to action video. You can do it video. You can do it graphic-wise for the call to action, right? And then, but yeah, like follow-up videos. Let's say they entered their information, but they didn't book an appointment. I can shoot them a quick video in the automations. That's a lot better than just a text message or an email because they get to see me. Hopefully like me. Maybe not. Dave's more likable. The data proves it, according to how we're measuring this. So he's just going to be doing more of the videos. Same thing, like on a thank you page. Hey, just a quick video. Welcome. Next step is for you to book at a time when you're available for your introductory session. And again, urgency, scarcity. We cap out at 75 clients, so make sure to book right now. Make sure we still have availability for our free trial. We'll see you soon. Right? So, and thank you, what to expect in your first intro session. There's a lot of them are scared to come in. A lot of them are intimidated by us. They think we're meatheads, right? Like, do whatever you can to soften that, to get them to feel welcome, to let them know you work with all ages and shapes and sizes. Okay. So that's a little bit about that. Anything to add on that, Dave?
This works because nobody's doing it. And we live in a world now with so much automation, and I love using AI, but the missing link is human connection. So any gym out there, like, nobody's doing this. Why? Because it does suck getting on the camera and like telling your story. But people on the other end, if you have a story to tell, what I feel for the first time in a long time, we're in control of our own destiny, right? Like, we get to put out there our energy and our passion, and the data is already proving it. But it's just that excitement is back in the game, to where, like, we relied on paid ads for years too, just like everybody else. The last 90 days, I feel so much more excited because I feel like we're in control. So it's like, people will connect with you guys if you have a story to tell, if you have passion. I've always said, like, man, if people know what Greenlight is, if they know what Underground is, they're going to come and see us. So for anyone out there, if you guys have uniques and pillars, get out there and just let people in your community know. Keep in mind this, you have to have patience with this too. So if you want this to work tomorrow or the next day, it's probably not going to. Like, we've already collected some quick wins doing it for the last 30 days. But I can tell you, this will stack over time. It's like Will Schiller says, it's the law of seven. For people to truly move forward, especially with a higher ticket program, they have to see your content and they have to hear your podcast over and over, up to 7 hours. People don't know someone that they enjoy their company, and they understand their personality and their voice. So I can't stress that enough, guys. Like, leaning into this strategy, you're going to feel like you're in control of your destiny. With paid ads, I've never felt like I was in control of our destiny.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. It was totally outside of it. And it's just like, you got to cross your fingers and hope the company does the job. And again, it's not always the marketing company's fault. You know what I mean? Like, most of them have delivered low cost per leads. It's just getting those guys in the door is just a horrible, right? It's not a fun game. So yeah, this has been working for us really, really well. And also for quite a long time, if you've been following us, we're big on organic ads. So we've been talking about paid ads, right? But what about organic ads? And I just realized something. For all of you guys who wrote script in the meeting chat for Zoom, I realized, because it's not on Facebook, we don't have your emails to send it to you. So if you can throw your emails down there, and then we can zip it off or add you to the file. Or you know what we can do? Let me just do this, guys. How about this? Let me make sure anybody with the link can view. I'm going to drop it right here in the Zoom room for you guys. Okay. Don't try to edit this or get access. Go to file, make a copy, so it's yours. Sound fair? Good. Okay. So yeah, stage 1, 2, 3. This is stage 1, 2. I didn't have time to put examples of our stage 3 in there, but that's your simple call to action. Graphics work really well, but also videos can work as well. But here's the whole thing is, your paid and your organic ad strategy, it's overlapping. One hand is going to wash the other. And nobody really does shit with organic ads. Before I get into that too, now I'm kind of just talking about Meta, Facebook and Instagram here. But YouTube is viable, right? And also Google Ads is viable. Why do I like Google Ads? I like Google Ads because, unlike interruption marketing, where they're just scrolling on their phone looking at My Little Ponies, and then Underground Fitness pops up and they're like, oh, okay, a free thing. That looks pretty good. Let me do that, right? And that's why they don't show up. Then they go back to My Little Pony porn, right? So that's interruption marketing. But the cool thing, when you advertise on Google Ads, we can get them when they're searching for the solution. So our favorite keyword to do is personal training, personal trainers, or personal training near me, right? So basically, and we do search ads on Google AdWords or AdSense, whatever it's called now. And so when they're searching for that, they're not looking for a solution. They're looking for the best solution, right? So they're already problem aware and they're solution aware, and they're just trying to find the best solution. So we advertise on that because they're higher intent leads. So that's important to note. So I do like that. Meta is interruption marketing. So you're going to have to sift through more no matter what. That's what this funnel is for. Awareness ads, retarget people that watch 10, 15 seconds of this video with testimonial ads, then hit them up with call to action ads. Okay. When I do Google AdWords, I can just kind of go right for the jugular because they're already looking for a solution. Okay. But organic ads. Okay. What the hell are organic ads? Let's go back to that gym owner I was talking about in Canada, town of about 5-ish thousand people. Okay. So she's spending $60 a day to do paid ads. Like, do you understand? You already pretty much own the entire list of adults. You can advertise to them for free, like literally for free. Go into your CRM and do an ad campaign in there. And Dave, you and I just ran an ad campaign to 2 locations, one in Canada, one we got in Canada, one we have here in Mesa, right? I don't know where they ended up. You're going to have to tell me. I just know that, this was like last Thursday. So a week ago. So what is that? June, I don't know, 13th or something like that, 12th. And Brandon had signed up 11 already. Right. And we basically just ran an ad campaign to the traffic we already own, to our email list. It was 3 emails and 2 text messages, I believe, is what we did. And where's he at now? Do you know where he's at right now? This was like as of last week.
Yeah, he ended up at north of 20, either 20, 21, or 22 total signups. And Larshi, I think he beat Brandon. I think he hit 25. So
Yep.
both locations are north of 20.
Yeah, both locations in north of 20. And Brandon's is especially kind of cool because he's only been soft open since January-ish. So, and it's not a big list at this point. And pretty much all of that list has been generated from Facebook leads that, yeah, they get our newsletters. Yeah, it encourages them to come in, but we just can't get them in the doors. Well, we ran this play at those 2 locations. We're running it at 4 of our additional locations next week, I believe. And it was amazing. It's kind of like a paid trial, but we sign up them for the full membership right there. And then now we're taking this play because it works so well, and we're getting it out there in the community with QR codes, looking for volunteers for personal training. It can be 100% free, but the whole thing, it's very transparent and it explains exactly how it works. And running this play has just exploded, which is pretty cool. But there are a lot of plays that can be done. It's just we're not advertising to the audience that we already own. We're relying on Facebook, which is kind of dumb because we already own these. And so the bottom line is there's a lot to talk about with organic ads. But really, what's very easy and inexpensive is for everybody watching this, for every single person. Oh, I'm sorry. I sent that link for the scripts to just directly to Carol because you sent me a direct message. Let me send it to everyone in the meeting so you get the scripts. There it is, everybody. Hit that link, file, make a copy. Sorry about that, guys. The single biggest missed opportunity you guys are missing is you guys need to be world famous in a 5-mile radius around your gym. That is really easy to do. It's actually really easy to do. Now, your mile radius might be different. You might be in more of a rural area. This is a 10 or 15-mile radius. You might be very much in a downtown area, right, where it's going to be smaller. So take that with a grain of salt. But the bottom line is everybody should know you or your brand. And that's not hard to do. Nobody's going to remember a 6-week challenge ad that you did. Okay. But if they're watching these videos, learning about you, they see you'll get stopped in the grocery store. You will. So it's very cheap. 3 cents. How many people can you reach for 3 cents a pop? Right? I mean, do that math on it. That's insane. What if you had to reach, let's say there's 10,000 people, 10,000 and it costs you 3 cents for them to watch you for at least 10 seconds, that's $300. And then you've got your retargeting things. So they're going to see you over and over and over for really cheap. This is how you do it, guys. You do that. Then you develop your personal brand on Facebook and Instagram. You put out evergreen content. It doesn't need to be overwhelming. 3 times a week is all you need to do. For those of you that have followed the stuff we've created for you, Will is on the PT Legends team, Will Schiller. He writes content for you guys to take. And all you have to do is go to Canva and swap your graphic, his face for yours, right? Or maybe you change a little thing to speak to your avatar more. Maybe you're more into like 40s and up or this or that. A couple small changes, but you just post. But there's a cadence, right? There's an engagement post. Here's one where you indoctrinate them into your system. Here's one where you're going to show social proof with a client. And here's one where you're going to do a direct or indirect offer. But if you do this, you have purpose behind your content. You do it consistently, you're going to crush it. We have revived dead gyms who had no money for paid ads just from that in tough markets. Baltimore, if you're there, it ain't an easy market. It's not the highest demographics. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of blood in the water, but you can go in a couple months. Now he bolted on a high ticket offer like we teach to do. That's why he was able to go from 9K to 38.5K within 2 months. He's not going to do that with his regular offers, but holy shit, you can really get through it, right? So if you just post this stuff, it's amazing what you can do. And this is free, guys. You use your social media, personal profile, but you also have your email and text lists. It's just we don't know what to do with them, so we don't do anything with them. So to become the 5 Mile Celebrity, it's really easy. You run paid ads just how we taught you. Awareness video ads, plus testimonial ads, plus call to action retargeting. In the meantime, you build your personal brand. Your social media profile should pass the grunt test. I should be able to easily see what you do, right? You're going to have evergreen content that's not overwhelming, that's easy, that's purpose-driven, that will get you leads, right? You can have the QR code and create business-to-business relationships. That is a lot of what we're doing here. Now, I don't have time to show you all that today. That's a whole nother training in and of itself. But Brandon is signing up people from business-to-business partnerships and just getting this flyer up. You just closed another one, Dave. I saw the message, right?
Yep.
Which is awesome. It's just we don't know what to do with these B2B relationships, and we don't have time to do it. The whole point is like, can we make this so simple and scalable where it takes very little time? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The playbook that we've created is very important, and it's built around you having the ability to do it. Because as an owner, you're wearing a lot of hats. You got to make this stuff simple, or else you'll never do it. Another big one is promo plays every 2 to 3 months, running an organic ad campaign. Like I said, we just did this paid trial one, which is crushed. We've done a 10K in a weekend playbook, right? You need to run a certain promotion or play every 2 to 3 months to the traffic you already own on social media with your followers and on your email and SMS lists. If you do that, you should not have a shortage of leads. The paid ads is only going to accelerate it, give it leverage, and is going to add to the size of your audience. I'm okay. I mean, we have not advertised, Dave, you and I, we've not advertised at some locations for really long periods of time. No paid ads, right? So you can do it without it. And in fact, we had them shut off for months as we were devising our new strategy for paid ads, right? We've had them shut off for months until we started doing this again. So there's a lot that you can do. And beyond this, there's extra things. But if at the minimum, you're just revising your paid ads, okay, you're developing your personal brand, you're running organic ads to your existing market, and you're doing the right thing to get your offers out in the physical world and to businesses, you're going to do very, very, very well. That's the bottom line. If we go back to the 3 things that I wanted to share with you, it's the signs you need to change your ad strategy, what to do with your paid ad strategy, what to do with your organic ad strategy. But also I wanted to share with you, pending time, I got a couple minutes, the number 1 secret to winning the acquisition game. Okay. Now this is important because I showed you kind of Hugh, who went from 9K a month and in big trouble, behind on rent, no money for paid ads, to his first month working with us being his best month ever to his second month finishing at 38.5K. Most of you can't do that with your models because you don't have a high ticket offer, a true high ticket offer that can bring in a lot of money very quickly. And that is the number one way to do it. If we go back to this, what you need to do to make big, sexy profits, you basically need to lead with price. You need a winnable model. If you have, see if I can find a graphic on this one, guys. A lot of you just have workouts only options, maybe nutrition and accountability, like a 6-week challenge, right? But if you have a true high ticket program that you can charge $2,000, $8,000 for like a 9 to 12-week program, that can move the needle like crazy. That's how you can have these huge jumps. And not everybody, and I know that scares a lot of people, we teach you how to sell those things. And the deliverables are very easy. But the best way to win the advertising game is to need fewer people. And if you can take your ARM or your ACV and double it because you have a high ticket, you have a mid ticket, and then you have your workouts only low ticket offer, you're going to win. And the volume gain can be very tough post-pandemic. The new market equilibrium where churn and acquisition cancel out in most markets is lower. Almost all markets. Wouldn't you agree, Dave?
100%.
Even with our rock stars that used to have 650 members, their new market equilibrium is 400 members. And I'm talking, obviously, if somebody had 650 members, they're a top ass performer. It's not like he's doing anything different or less or slacking off or had big team problems. That is the new market equilibrium, post-pandemic market in this gym session. The way he's making it up is by bolting on a high ticket offer inside of it. So the number one way to win the marketing game is to lead with price. So ultimately you need half the amount of leads that anybody else does. If you can by default need half the amount of leads that anybody else does, that makes things way more winnable. Way, 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 way more winnable. And that's the important thing, right? Because the volume game can be challenging in certain markets. Make it up by having your average price higher and needing a lot less volume. That is way more scalable, right? So that's kind of the main gist of what I want you to get. But the bottom line is, if your ads aren't working that well, if you stopped ads because they weren't working, or if you're just like, hey, this return on ad spend is not penciling out, this math is not mathing, you need to change your strategy. Even if it is doing well, I need you doing organic ad as well. I need you doing organic ads. That is hugely, hugely important. I'm going to open up for questions in a minute. But before I do, could we get a copy of these slides? Yes. I've got this is part of like a billion of them. So let me separate these out, Fahad. And what I'll do, I'll go in the Gym Owner Freedom Facebook group, and in the comments, I will edit that and I will put the slides right there in the comments for you. And so if you're not a member of Gym Owner Freedom, it's the free Facebook group, like get in there right away. And we'll post it in there for you so everybody can get that. One big thing I wanted to give everybody on here, and again, those watching the recording, you're eligible for it too. I just got to find it. Is if you want to hop on and do a free marketing audit and a strategy call for your marketing, whether it's paid, organic, or both. This QR code, this link right here, and I'll copy and paste the link as well in the Zoom channel, and we'll put it in the Facebook group after. That you can book a call with us. It's not a sales call. It's a let's help you call. Okay. So we will audit your organic ad strategy. We can take a look at your paid campaigns if you're running that. Walk us through that. We'll suggest our improvements on there and what we would do in your situation. The first or the second big priority we would do for your situation. Tell us a little bit about your model too. So we want to know, hey, are you a large group? What do you primarily run? Is it a 6-week challenge? Is it something different? But leads, guys. This is the crack, right? This is the crack that everybody needs and wants. We just have to shift it a little bit. Less is more. More qualified leads. You don't need crazy high volume. If you notice, I didn't say cost per lead anywhere today. Cost per lead is somewhat relevant to some degree, but at the end of the day, it's all about cost per acquisition and how much that ad is. It's your total return on ad spend. Some markets you can still get $8 cost per leads. Some it's 40 to 50. I really don't give a shit what it is. That market is that market. And yeah, it has, to some degree, it tells you how effective the ads are. But what's more important is not the leads, guys. What's more important is who shows up into your gym that you get a chance to sell them. That is what we're all after. And beyond that, we're not after more leads. We're not after more members. We're after the lifestyle. You guys are freaks. You guys are entrepreneurs and taking huge risks, and you've gotten into your business because it's not just about the leads and the members. Is you want to make big, sexy profits, turn that profit into wealth so you can live a lifestyle. So you have freedom with your time, with your money, and you can do what you want with life. So never lose sight of why we're doing this. I know this stuff is hard. I know change is hard. I know getting on video and making a recording is hard. We can walk you through all that and make it easy. You're still going to have resistance, but I want you to keep your why in mind. We all want to be vacationing with our families and not beholden to our gyms, right? We all want to have indestructible wealth and have our retirements taken care of. We all would probably like to work less. These things can be a reality. I've done this multiple times over in different gyms. You can do this too. So keep that in mind. What I will do as well is I'm good to stay on after. I know we're coming up on like, holy cow, an hour, but I'm cool to stay on and take questions. So anybody that has questions, I can privately coach you right after this. I will cut the recording, and that way, if you didn't want to share this with the whole world, that's fine. It'll just be us and who's on the call. Dave, Josh, anything we missed out on or want to cover before we do that?
You went over a lot today, Scott, and that 5 mile celebrity, and it can be a little bit overwhelming when we initially built it out. But the beautiful thing is, and this is one of my favorite Ed Milets, you're just one conversation away. So with the 5 mile celebrity guys, and this is my favorite part with what we're doing right now with PTL, is we're helping our legends really find that pond that feels right for them. So like, shout out to Becky W. We're talking about a B2B strategy. She's like, I would rather stab someone. I don't know if that was her verbatim, but she's like, I would never do that. So the key though is like the pond that I'm fishing in right now for our Mesa location. It's a Eastmark community Facebook group. Now I'm becoming a name inside of Eastmark. There's no doubt just me focusing on that one pond for the next year probably brings us 30 to 50 clients. So that's the beautiful thing with this strategy. You don't have to do all of these. Like you do one. If you go all in on that one and you became a name in a Facebook group or your organic brand or a podcast, or maybe you like the B2B, like you're all just one conversation, like one pond away from filling up your gym, but not just, and this is the key, not just with fitness only clients, like people that see me inside of Eastmark, they see the transformational content that I'm putting out. So any lead that comes from there, they're high ticket clients. They're not just fitness only clients.
Yeah, that's a good distinction. Is what we're trying to do is attract dream clients. I hate the lowest paying, pain in the ass clients. You do too. It's always the people that pay the least that are the biggest pains in the asses. The ones that you have to bend over backwards for, and then they always complain and they want more, and they say how much money they're spending with you. You're like, dude, you're like the lowest paying client I've had in like a decade, and you're the biggest asshole in here. It's always the case. The people who pay the most expect the least. They value you, what you do, how you make their life better, and they're happy to pay you each and every damn month without complaining. They're the best clients. And we built our businesses around finding and attracting our dream clients. This is why we don't need very many of them. This is why things are a lot easier for us to run multiple locations, is because we don't play the volume game. Even if your business is the volume game, guys, by offering high ticket transformations, you can actually start to change that. Let me show you an example of this. CrossFit gym. See if I can find her. CrossFit gym, right? 195 clients doing around 30 something a month, mostly large group CrossFit with some one-on-one PT, right? Well, she was one of our first clients. We actually had her change one-on-one PT to overlapping PT because it's more scalable. but we got her really good at selling high ticket transformational programs to the point where, COVID, again, equilibriums are harder. She only works with 112 clients, give or take now, but her revenue is like around 70K a month. So you look at it, this is probably around 40% fewer clients, yet she's doubling her revenue. And during this time, then she went from 11,000 square feet and moved down to 4,000 square feet. I can't tell you how much this can change a business on the profit side, on the time, work, stress, you name it. So the high ticket offers work really well with the organic marketing strategy. You might only need 8 consults a month and you can grow your gym. I mean, she doesn't need any more than that. If she signs up 4 to 5 a month, she never has to worry about anything. That's the reality of it. Where some of us have to sign up 16 a month just to prevent from backsliding. And your own success will work against you because churn is a bitch. It's this: when acquisition and churn cancel each other out, you're stuck, right? And one of the biggest ways through that is by doubling your average client value. And even if you're just a group only, large group only, you can still do it by offering a high and a mid-ticket transformational program. And again, that's where a lot of this warmer traffic will come in. They know, like, and trust you. They are indoctrinated into your methods, how you do things differently. They will be your best clients. More is not better. Better is better. It's the same thing I have in this video script. Working out harder is not better, right? It isn't. To some extent, it hurts you. And our people don't want harder. They want easier. So we delineate that in our thing. We don't want people coming in doing 60-minute workouts 5 times a week. Our people don't want to do that. So anyways, that's a good point, Dave. It's the same principle with marketing, man. It's the same principle with marketing. And it's not as complicated as you think. I know I showed a lot on becoming the 5-mile celebrity. When we help you break it down in your strategy on it, it's actually really, really, really easy. And you don't have to do it all. 1 or 2 avenues for you will probably get you the 5 to 10 warm leads you need to knock down. That's the reality of it. All right. I'm going to cut the recording here. For those of you who have individual questions, stay on, and I'm going to be happy to answer them. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are ready to start making an extra $10,000 a month or more this month by making more money with less clients and create a consistent flow of high-quality leads, you can learn about what it's like to work with me and how ridiculously affordable it is at CoachScottCarpenter.com. And if you got any value out of this episode, please pay it forward and leave a review for this show. It helps other gym owners find the answers to the huge problems that we all share. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.